Okay, Elsa back here again. Let's talk a little bit about the Flowhive. Why I bought it, what makes it special, what you can do with it that you can't do with a regular hive, and if it's worth the money. So I'm standing out here in front of my hive, and we're gonna just kind of go over the basics of this Flowhive and how it differs from the Langstroth, sorry, and how I think we might be able to make a hybrid version of this where you get your money's worth from the flow frames, but you don't have to put out all the money for the entire hive. Okay, so as I said, this is the Flowhive. We have the yellow base right there is the base, and it has adjustable legs. And the landing boards right there. This is a deep brood box, BROOD, brood box, and that just basically means that's where the queen's going to be laying her brood, storing pollen for food, storing honey for food. On top of that, I've added an aftermarket, for lack of a better word, second brood box. On top of that is a honey super made by Flow, and then the honey, and then just a architectural roof. Really doesn't serve much of a purpose other than to keep your hive all tightened down. So why is the Flowhive different? So first of all, that baseboard, you will notice, we're going to come in really close, has a level built into it. But that level is not to actually level out the hive. It's to ensure that the hive has a certain degree pitch to the back, so that when we go to harvest honey out of the flow frames, it naturally flows down and out. So if you go onto the Flowhive site, you'll see it pouring out of these tubes, and it's wonderful. Well, you have to have the whole hive tilted in order for that to happen. So that base has a level there, and then it also has a level back here. I'm not currently using it because I have the vent open, but you can see there is a level on this part. When it's in the hive, it's not venting, you can also level it. On the back, we have a way to open this honey super up and take off this this board so that you can access the honey super flow frames just by opening this up. Okay, I'm not going to do it because I'm not in a bee suit, and I don't want to rattle the hive and get everybody all upset. And then on the top honey super, there's this neat little door here that you can open up, and you can see your bees in action when you have your flow frames there, and you could actually check to see if you have honey in the frames. But right now I don't have the frames in there. All I have, you can see, is a feeder bucket feeding the bees. There's not much action going on in there. So what's the difference between a Flowhive and a regular Langstroth hive? Great question. The only difference on the Flowhive is that top honey super right there has that special honey frame that goes in there to collect the honey. So the bottom boxes are just the same as you would get on a regular hive. This one is compatible with an 8-frame Langstroth hive. So when I needed to expand this to this level, I didn't have another box because I was unprepared, and I literally went on Amazon and purchased that box pre-assembled, pre-painted, and it was on my doorstep 2 days later, and I just added it. So you can see it fits perfectly well, and it's meant to go for a regular Langstroth hive. So really, all the money, all the technology, all the innovation occurs right here on this honey super. And the whole idea is that you have it hanging in the honey super, and you line up, you use this tool right here. It's like a key. It goes in and it lines all those cells up so they look not so crazy out of an alignment. And the bees go in and basically repair the cell, make it a whole cell, because right now it's cut in half. And then they store honey in it. And then eventually, when this is full, the beekeeper is meant to put the key in again, break the cell, and put a spigot in here at the end. And because the hive is leaning, all the honey pours down out the spigot and into a honey jar. So pretty cool idea. That way you don't have to disturb the bees. It's not as messy. A regular hive, you would have to pull the frame out, cut off the wax capping, and spin off the honey, and it can be very messy. At least that's my understanding. So, is the Flowhive worth it? My thoughts. So, the entire Flowhive costs anywhere from $700 to $800 complete, and that's pretty darn expensive when you consider a regular Langstroth hive you can get for $130, complete with bottom board, the brood box, and the honey super. I was thinking, okay, what makes this Flowhive worth that money? Well, it's really the flow frames. It's the way that you harvest your honey. And it's really neat, proprietary, innovative product, and the people that built it and came up with it and researched it absolutely should reap from benefits from that invention. But it doesn't mean I need to really buy the entire hive. I was watching somebody else's video, I don't remember who it was, but they pointed out that when you have bees and they're storing honey, many of them have their faces in the cells. You can't exactly tell a bee, hey, we're gonna harvest honey now, get out of the cell so I can break that cell and have the honey pour out. And he felt like there was like a big risk of injury to a lot of bees in the honey super when you turn that key and crack that cell and the honey starts running out. And so his thought was he was just going to remove the frames, just like he would with any other regular honey frame, take it get the bees off of it, take it into the house, and then crack the cells and have it pour out. So I was thinking about that and I thought, that's actually a pretty good point. And on top of that, I had been reading a lot of people say that the smell of honey can cause robbing, and we'll talk about robbing another day, but it's a problem. So I thought, well, okay, why couldn't I buy a regular Langstroth hive for $130, $140? And then when it comes time to put the honey super on, instead of putting the regular frames on for the bees to build into, put the Flowhive frames into. And then when it is time to harvest, just pull those Flowhive frames out and take them into my house and harvest from them there. I still don't need to cut off the wax cap because it does it for you, and it still pours out the spigot nicely, supposedly. We'll find out if that's true. The only difference is I'm not doing it immediately in front of the hive with a bunch of bees flying around who are getting excited because they can smell honey, which to me almost sounds like a benefit. So I'm going to try that. I ordered a second hive, a regular Langstroth hive, today. I'm going to set it up beside the hive that I currently have with the Flowhive. I'm going to put on the regular brood boxes, and when it comes time to putting on the honey supers next year, I'm just going to put on another super and hang the flow frames in that. I don't need to have it at a certain angle because I'm not planning on taking the honey directly from the hive, and I'm going to see how it works. And I think honestly it stands to save me, let's see, probably $400 to $500. And the makers of the flow frames still get money for their proprietary information. I'm just not spending extra money on really expensive boxes with a cute roof and a stand that needs to be adjusted to a certain level. I'd be interested to hear what other beekeepers think about this idea. I'm thinking it's going to work, but if you have any ideas that it may not, I would love to hear about that. So in the end, I have ordered a new hive. It should come on Wednesday from Manhive Limited, M-A-N-N, or not Manhive, sorry, Man Lake, M-A-N-N Lake Limited. I ordered the base, the landing board, the brood boxes, and a roof. I'm going to set it up over here and I'll show you guys the setup. It's going to involve a couple 2x4s and some cinder blocks. I've ordered another nucleus, so that's like a 5-frame colony of bees from a local beekeeper. They're Italian European bees. They're very calm, just like these ones. So I'm comfortable with this breed. So I'm going to keep on with that. I'm going to go down to Somerset, Texas next Saturday to pick them up, and I will definitely bring you all along with me to share with you how we install a hive and how we do an initial hive setup. So I look forward to speaking with you more or showing you more about my new hobby. And if you have any questions, please leave your comments, questions, and I hope you find this useful. Have a great day.